Welcome to Murphy, Sam, and Jody after the show.
Yeah, Jody, during the show today, you were talking about a text to send after a first date.
Yeah, the good ideas being if you're really, into this person and the first date went really well, there are no rules about you have to wait till the next day so you don't appear too eager.
Around.
Text is an interesting way to seem super casual, and one of the ways was, did you make it home okay? I guess assuming that you didn't drop somebody off.
Exactly. Well, it got me thinking, because I've been out of the quote unquote game for a while. So,
self-regulated,
game,
like
huh?
you chose it.
Yeah.
You're choosing not to date.
Well, yeah.
I'm just throwing it out.
I'm out of the game. I'm, on my own volition or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering, and I know we've joked about it before, but if you and Murphy ever wound up back in the game.
Yeah.
Which I don't plan to do, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah. But
Tell me more. No.
How do you think your skills are?
Oh, awful.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any skills. It's been so long.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm comfortable around people though. And I guess I wouldn't go out with somebody I wasn't comfortable with though.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I can't speak to this intelligently. I have female friends who are single who are like, you have no idea how bad it is out there. I've heard those words, like how bad it is.
You mean the pickings?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing,
Sad.
there are a couple of things that happen. Once you've been in a relationship for a long time, there actually are different expectations that you have. You know what I mean? It's all not new and rosy and different like it was when you were coming out of college or high school or whatever,
Yeah, but
right?
the person is new.
Oh, yeah, the person's new, but I guess what I'm saying, what you expect and want out of life is a lot more specific than it used to
Yeah,
be.
Oh, yeah, that's true, Murphy. Oh, that's true.
Because it's like, okay, you two got together.
Uh-huh. Long time ago.
Right. And you know how you two got together.
Uh-huh.
If those tricks or whatever it was that worked back, do you think that would work today?
Oh,
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, actually, what's interesting about you saying that is it was chemistry and it was unexpected. So
it was not planned.
Right. So when you actually talk and you connect to somebody, I know that sounds really elementary, but that's the
No,
truth.
that
That's
makes
what it
sense.
is.
You
You know what I mean?
don't.
It's a conversation. You realize that you have things in common, and you wind up connecting on that. And it wasn't. I don't want to say it wasn't any more complicated than that, but it was complicated because we were two very different people. I think at that point,
Still are.
Oh,
I
yeah.
cannot. There are times when I go back and I'm like,
Why?
no. Even when I first met you, I never would have thought that we would be married. I never does that make sense? The clicking and the connecting was so on then.
Yeah.
Because and I know we'll talk about types, but not my typical type.
Yeah.
Murphy, and he's very much an individual anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody in the world is like Murphy. So,
Thanks.
and that's a compliment.
I know it is.
It's a compliment.
But,
But,
you know,
you
it's-
definitely do not fit into
It's so-
what my idea used to be, or typically is.
Yeah.
Of a type.
Well, it's funny you say that because I remember you really getting frustrated with me talking about types at one point. You couldn't stand that term that anybody would have
I
a
don't
type.
like that term, but the person that brought it to my attention was my mother. Your favorite. My mom was like, "Really? You're dating him?" She said, he's different than what you're used to. And I'm like, I know. Not in a bad way. She loves you. Anyway, going back to, would I have any game? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't think.
And my, I guess, history with the ladies. Not to say that I was bold and I tried to connect with somebody, but in the past, I guess, year or so, I've attempted to, on the DL.
Okay, good, Sam.
And
I'm glad to hear it.
the skills from 10, 15 years ago didn't work.
Why? Why do you think? You're different, or she was different? Different kind of person?
Probably a different person because,
Sure.
when your A game, it was always your A game, and your A game doesn't work anymore because you're trying the same A game. You got to change things up.
Interesting. I didn't know that you had an A game. Not that I don't mean you are not capable of having an A game.
I don't want to hear about the A
I'm
game.
just saying, I don't know what I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Well,
you mean just being yourself? You mean like Funny Sam and the quips and the funnies and the
a mixture of all of that? Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever worked in the past apparently didn't work this time around.
Maybe it's because of your age. Maybe what you used to do was more youthful.
You're right. And it could be excused
Sure.
as youthful
so
indiscretions.
you're saying she thought it was juvenile?
You may never know what she
Well,
actually thought.
you put it that way. Murphy's on the right track there.
Sure.
Yeah, it's kind of juvenile and like, okay, this.
Why would you try the same thing?
Because it worked before.
Okay. Is that how?
Isn't that human
how
nature?
that goes?
I don't
guess
know.
it's human nature. I wouldn't know, but I would think a different person is just a different thing.
Yeah.
I really would.
I can tell you, I mean, I would think that I would be rusty. Not that I would, want to try that. I'm really, and I'm not going to be schmaltzy here, Jody. I'm really glad that, you and I have managed to make it through some of the, the best and the worst times, because it wasn't easy, because I'm a challenging personality. You are too, but you're less challenging than I am, right? I mean, we're just particular people. We are definitely individuals, right? I mean,
We're also trying to do something that most couples can't do, and that's work together.
Work together, yeah. But
that's
which is
real. If you're being absolutely real about it, that's a struggle.
Yeah.
It's because you can get too much of someone.
Yeah.
You do need balance in your own life.
Yeah.
You do.
Well,
It's not a feeling, it's a fact.
Yeah, and dialing back, it would probably change, to use Sam's term, my game, because I'm not. I think my personality is still the same as it was, but I think
You haven't had a chance to use your game.
But game is maybe the wrong word. I guess what I'm trying to say, I think I would be a little bit more laid back than I was, because I just was really.
Yeah, you were. Yes,
I was.
You are more
up.
laid back in general.
Yeah.
Than you used to be when I first met you. Thank goodness.
Right.
For your own sake too, not just those around you.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
I
don't know if that would result in any sort of change or not, but it probably was. I think I got in my own way back before I met Jodi. That's just me.
I think the laid backness too has worked to my advantage, because
they come to you now, Sam.
Right. That's a knock at the door right there.
Come running.
No, because growing up and being raised, it's like you're expected to have the nuclear family. Two kids, and
or you expect that of yourself,
or you expect that of yourself because it's been drilled into your head. And
Sure.
now I'm to the point where it's like I don't care. I really don't care if something happens. Like Murphy said, if the chemistry happens with somebody, great. If not, hey,
good.
I'm chill.
And that we've said this before.
Unfortunately,
That
it took
makes you,
this long to get here.
That's okay. You're supposed to be a work in
The
progress.
time is running out.
Work in progress your whole life. But we've talked about this before, and I'm going to say it again. Being comfortable with yourself, being able to be alone is an attractive quality.
Yeah.
Who wants to date somebody who cannot stand to be by themselves for one day?
Yeah,
That's not a desirable quality.
we have
lack of independence.
A mutual friend named Rick, who's got some of that quality. We're like, take it or leave it.
He totally has that.
And I think that is a big attraction.
Sure.
Yeah, he's a challenge to the ladies that meet him.
Yeah.
But realize, there are some people who are the opposite of what you were saying, Jodi. And of course, I guess there's no way to know that until you get into that. There's
opposite
some
of what? What do you mean?
The opposite of. There's some people that do truly want to be together all the time.
Most people.
My parents were really. That's the way that my parents were, and it was interesting because my dad especially is very much an individualist. He's content to pretty much be doing. If he's by himself, he's okay. If he's got people around him, he's okay. That's just the way he's always been. But my parents did very few things apart from each other. And obviously I grew up in that household. I know that there were challenging moments. So at times it was a little bit surprising to me that was the case. But then by the same token, my mother had her interest. She'd go away on a Saturday, do her own thing. My dad's watching football or whatever. And then, they're back together that evening.
That's how it's supposed to be. I feel like that's more normal.
I do love that. It's just like, Jodi going, on Saturday. Sort of like the Mother's Day thing is really, something that you can feel free to do every weekend if you wanted to. You know what I mean?
Okay.
What I'm saying is our relationship is such that, that works. So
Yeah, and kind of touching on that, I think that was where I was way back. Was I needed somebody, and I don't need anybody. And okay, wait,
You do. You
Yeah,
would
I
like
do,
somebody, but
I-
you're not going to settle.
right? I don't. Yeah.
You're not
wonderful.
dependent upon that, right?
You are happier now than you used to be,
Yeah,
which
I
is
love
also an
that.
attractive quality. Being able to be happy with you is an attractive quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then I would just make sure that the text that you send after the first date is not I really don't have to have somebody. Yeah. Probably
And
not
don't do your old stuff either.
Yeah. Well, I know the old stuff doesn't work anymore.
And I'm super glad to hear you did throw it out there on the DL recently.
Yeah.
I love that.
Me too. I love that.
That's
And
good.
I just, at some point in a future podcast, you need to make a list of your A game for us so that we know what it is.
Well, we
that you're-
saw some of it.
Oh.
It was Sam's A game. I don't know if it's the rest of the world's A game.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all at murphysamandjody.com.